So you guys, I just want to come on live and start to share with you and just talk with you about any questions that you have about yoga, about meditation, about the path of yoga, about yoga philosophy, about energy, chakras, whatever the case may be. You know, it's so funny. I was talking to somebody the other day about I was talking to my teacher training group about yoga and how when a lot of people first start or they do their first class, they don't even really realize that it's going to be that hard. I know for me, when I did my very first yoga class, it was, well, not first. I did my first at home on a DVD, and it was a really gentle one. So it actually was something that I was like, oh, yoga is so easy, and yoga's like real chill, and it is. But then one time I went to a class with a girlfriend of mine, and oh my God, it was so hard, and I actually hated it. I hated it. So I didn't know that yoga was that hard. And I went to a class and I really didn't have the right expectation of going in or what I was in for. And I thought it was going to be easy, and I went in and they kicked my butt, and I just wasn't feeling up to it that day. I wasn't feeling up to a workout that day. And so one of the things about yoga is that you really should start at a beginner level so that you know what you're getting into, because yoga can be gentle. Yoga can be really restorative and easy, but yoga can also be really challenging. And it just depends on the style of class that you go to. So for example, if you go to a beginner's class or a gentle yoga class or a restorative yoga class, those are going to be really laid back, pretty gentle stretching, not holding poses too long. Now, if you go to a power yoga practice or a vinyasa yoga practice, those are going to be harder. And here's a fair warning for you. You need to know what you're doing, especially if you're going to a vinyasa class, because they're faster paced and you don't want to be looking around at everybody, because there's a sequence called the sun salutations. And if you know how to do that, then you're going to know how to move from pose to pose pretty easily. And you'll have an idea of what's coming next, especially when the teacher says, okay, we're going to go into our vinyasa, or hit your plank, do chaturanga, up dog, cobra, whatever. You're going to know what to do. Now, if you go to a beginner's class or a gentle yoga class, you're going to learn that sun salutation series so that you'll know what to do when you go to another class. So for example, when you go to a power yoga practice or when you go to a vinyasa class, you're gonna know what to do because you've already been exposed to it in your beginner's class or your gentle yoga class. And so at my studio, we have a beginner's class every single Sunday night at 6:00 p.m. And this is the one where we're going to go through poses with you. We're going to teach you exactly what they are, just the basic sun salutation series. We're going to teach you where you should feel it, where you should lift, where you should straighten, where this should be at a 90-degree angle. And just this sequence alone is going to stretch you, help you calm down. It can energize you or it can calm you down. So it really is depending on the kind of practice that you are in for, and you can do that at home. Once you learn the sun salutations, a lot of people just do that when they wake up in the morning or before they go to bed at night, just to embody themselves and to feel better and to stretch their body. And then a lot of people are like, no, I do not want to do yoga at home because I can't even, my animals are climbing under me or my children are climbing on me, so they want that space to go to. And it is different. It really is different when you go to a space, an actual yoga studio like mine, and you're in a closed room and everything around you is closed off. It's just a totally different vibe, and you're able to disconnect from the world and everything that's vying for your attention, like your cell phone and your family and your computer and just your job, and you're able just to connect with you and go inwards, because that is where you're going to find all of your peace. Yes. Next Tuesday, what I'm thinking of doing is offering a very quick meditation to help you learn how to meditate, because so many people have questions on that. And I just want to kind of give you that so that you can start doing that on your own and you can start to incorporate that into your life. Because I'm going to tell you, the moment you start incorporating meditation into your life, everything will get better. Everything will get better, I swear to you. It just helps you to focus. It helps you to calm down. You actually begin to get more time because you have more clarity, because you have more focus. So the entire path of yoga, what a lot of people don't realize, it is this entire, there's an eightfold path, okay? So we start with ethical practices and morals and observances. So how we behave, how we act in the world, how we treat people, and then how we treat ourselves. That's all the process of yoga. You're all doing it, regardless of whether you're taking a yoga class. You're all living, actively pursuing this path of yoga, and you just don't even realize it. But so yoga was, you guys, yoga is about 5,000 years old. It's almost 5,000 years old, maybe more than that. So there's ancient carvings of yoga poses in caves of the walls that date 5,000 years ago. So this is pre-Jesus, pre-Buddha, pre-every single religion. And the yoga people, these yoga seekers, found that there's a certain way to live, and that when they did poses, they got into their body and out of their head, and it felt like this deeper connection to something bigger than who they were. And so they realized that, oh, there's something to this movement. And then what that did is it helped them to get out of their mind into their body so that they could focus on how they feel. Because your feelings are everything. Your feelings are where you're at vibrationally, what you're attracting into your life. And then what these yogis realized is that when they got in here, when they started to feel connected to their own sense of soul, their own sense of self, they felt connected to something beyond them, something higher than them, something of a bigger purpose. And that's the path of yoga. Okay, so it is incorporates these morals and ethical behaviors and these procedures, and then the poses, and then concentration, and then meditation, and then unity. And that's what yoga means. It means unity. And what are we uniting with? We're uniting with the divine. We're uniting with consciousness, this greater consciousness that's bigger than our own selves. It's outside of ourselves. It's in us, but it's also outside of us. So there's a phrase that I love, and it says, yoga is the path to the self through the self. And I just love that phrase because it's so true. You know, we have these really busy minds that like to think all these thousands and thousands of thoughts, and we have to slow it down. We have to slow it down. We have to go inwards. We need to feel, and we need to connect to this greater sense of a higher power that is within us, that is all around us. It's what makes us one with the world and with ourselves. So I'm going to jump off unless you guys have any questions, but I just wanted to give you this quick little live today